Look around you. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your path, every person depending on you, it all comes down to one thing: your ability to rise. There's a force inside every single one of us, a superpower that can change not just your life, but the lives of everyone you lead. It's not about luck, talent, or waiting for the right moment. It's about action, taking control, owning every choice, every outcome. Today, we're going to uncover that superpower, the one thing that turns ordinary people into leaders and leaders into legends. Are you ready to unleash it? Step 1. Extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is not just a concept. It's a mindset that separates those who lead from those who follow. It's the willingness to take full responsibility for everything in your life, every result, every mistake, and every failure. When something goes wrong, the first question isn't who to blame, it's what did I do to influence this outcome? Leaders who embrace extreme ownership don't point fingers, they don't make excuses, and they don't hide behind circumstances. They look squarely at the situation, at their team, at themselves, and say, "This is my responsibility. I own it. I will fix it." That simple statement carries a weight few are willing to bear, but it's the foundation of real leadership. Owning every decision means accepting the consequences of your actions without hesitation. It means that when a plan fails, you don't search for scapegoats. You analyze, you adapt, and you improve. You don't wait for others to step up. You step up first. Extreme ownership demands humility because you must be willing to acknowledge your mistakes, even when it stings. It demands courage because admitting failure opens you up to criticism. And it demands relentless discipline because taking responsibility is not a one-time act. It's a daily practice, a constant choice to rise above excuses and take control of what you can influence. The people around you will mirror your behavior. When you take ownership, you set the standard. Your team learns that blaming others or shirking responsibility is unacceptable. Your team learns to solve problems instead of complaining. They learn that leadership is not a title. It's action, and action starts with ownership. When a leader owns everything, the entire team performs better because there's clarity, accountability, and trust. Everyone knows that success is earned and that failure will be confronted honestly. There is no room for laziness, hesitation, or evasion in an environment built on extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is also about mindset beyond the workplace or battlefield. It applies to your relationships, your health, your goals, your failures. You stop waiting for life to hand you the perfect opportunity. You stop blaming the system, circumstances, or other people. You look in the mirror and accept that your life is the result of your choices. You take ownership of your time, your energy, your decisions, and your results. And when you do that, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your destiny. Step 2, discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom is a principle that flips the way most people think about control. Most see discipline as restriction, an obstacle to freedom, a chain that binds them to schedules, routines, and rules. They think discipline is boring, rigid, or unnecessary. But the truth is the exact opposite. Discipline is the key that unlocks freedom. It's the force that allows you to take control of your life instead of letting life control you. When you build habits rooted in discipline, you stop reacting to circumstances. You stop being tossed around by emotions, impulses, or external pressures. You gain the freedom to act decisively, the freedom to move fast, and the freedom to achieve without hesitation. Discipline isn't punishment, it's empowerment. Discipline starts with the small things. Waking up early, showing up on time, following through on promises, completing tasks that no one is watching. These are the moments where your freedom is built, brick by brick. Every time you choose to do what needs to be done instead of what's easy or comfortable, you strengthen the structure of your life. The more disciplined you are, the less chaos has the power to disrupt you. When your mind and body are trained, when your habits are aligned with your goals, you move through life with precision. You don't waste energy on indecision, procrastination, or distractions because your discipline has created space for clarity, focus, and action. Freedom through discipline also applies to leadership. Teams perform at the level their leader enforces through disciplined habits. A disciplined leader sets the tone. They enforce standards, hold themselves accountable, and demonstrate that nothing worth achieving comes without sacrifice. The freedom a disciplined leader gains is the ability to make better decisions under pressure, to anticipate problems before they happen, and to execute plans with unwavering focus. There is no stress and chaos for the disciplined individual because discipline has prepared them for the storm. It creates options where others see limitations. It builds confidence where others see doubt. Discipline doesn't just shape your actions, it shapes your mindset. It teaches patience, resilience, and the ability to endure discomfort. It allows you to choose long-term gains over short-term satisfaction. It frees you from excuses, from laziness, from regret. And when you internalize this principle, when discipline becomes non-negotiable in every aspect of life, you begin to understand that freedom is not the absence of rules, but the mastery of them, that control over yourself translates directly into control over your destiny. Step 3, decisive action under pressure. Decisive action under pressure is the difference between those who succeed and those who crumble when the stakes are high. Pressure is inevitable. It doesn't ask permission, it doesn't negotiate, and it doesn't care about excuses. The moment you hesitate, the moment you overthink, the moment you allow fear or doubt to control your decisions, opportunity slips through your fingers. Leadership and success are built on the ability to act decisively, even when the information is incomplete, even when the risks are high, and even when failure is a real possibility. Waiting for perfect conditions is a trap. Perfect conditions rarely exist. The person who acts first, who acts with clarity and purpose, gains an advantage that no amount of planning can replace. Decisive action starts with mindset. You cannot perform under pressure if you are paralyzed by fear, doubt, or indecision. You must train yourself to embrace discomfort, to anticipate chaos, and to remain calm when the world around you is unraveling. Pressure is a test. It exposes weakness and magnifies hesitation. The disciplined leader or individual doesn't freeze. They analyze quickly, prioritize ruthlessly, and move. Every second counts. Every choice has consequences. Indecision kills momentum, erodes confidence, and destroys trust. Acting decisively is not reckless. It is calculated. It is deliberate. It is the product of preparation, experience, and the refusal to allow fear to dictate outcomes. Teams mirror the decisiveness of their leader. When you act quickly and clearly, people follow. They trust your judgment, they understand your intent, and they move with purpose. Chaos becomes manageable because decisive action creates structure, direction, and momentum. When a leader hesitates, confusion spreads. When a leader commits, the team rallies. Every mission, every project, every challenge demands that someone step up and make the call. And if you don't, the opportunity or outcome will be lost. Decisive action under pressure isn't just a skill, it's a standard. It is what separates leaders from followers and achievers from dreamers. Taking decisive action also requires accountability. You own the results, good or bad. You accept the consequences of every decision you make under stress, because hesitation only prolongs responsibility and multiplies risk. Courage and discipline intersect in these moments. The ability to move forward decisively, despite uncertainty and adversity, builds confidence, trust, and momentum. When you cultivate this skill relentlessly, pressure stops being a threat and becomes a catalyst, a proving ground where action defines results and results define leaders. Step 4, clarity through simplicity. Clarity through simplicity is a principle that separates effective leaders from the rest. Complexity is the enemy of execution. When plans are convoluted, communication is unclear, and roles are ambiguous, failure is inevitable. The mind under stress cannot process endless variables and complicated instructions. Simplicity is not a lack of intelligence or strategy. It is the distillation of purpose, plan, and action to its most essential form. When you strip away the unnecessary, the distractions, and the noise, you create a path that is actionable, measurable, and achievable. Clarity is born from simplicity, and clarity drives performance. In leadership, simplicity creates understanding. Every person on your team must know their role, their objective, and the standard by which success will be measured. Confusion kills initiative. Complexity breeds hesitation. A leader who communicates with precision ensures that everyone understands not only what must be done, but why it matters. When the mission is simple and the plan is clear, every individual can act decisively. Every effort becomes aligned. Every decision contributes to the objective. The power of simplicity is that it eliminates doubt, reduces friction, and enables speed. A complex plan executed poorly is far less effective than a simple plan executed flawlessly. Simplicity also drives adaptability. When conditions change, when obstacles arise, the simpler the plan, the easier it is to adjust. Complexity locks you into rigid structures, making pivots slow and costly. Simplicity allows you to identify the core objective and alter the method without losing focus. It reduces cognitive overload, allowing leaders to make decisions under pressure without paralysis. In chaos, the simplest approach is often the most effective approach. The best leaders don't overwhelm with detail. They provide focus, direction, and a framework that empowers their team to act decisively while still thinking critically within boundaries. Applying clarity through simplicity extends beyond leadership into personal life. Complex routines, overcomplicated goals, and scattered priorities create stress, indecision, and inefficiency. Simplify your schedule, your objectives, your decisions. Define what matters most and eliminate everything else. Clear priorities produce focus. Focus produces results. Results produce momentum. Simplicity is not weakness, it is strategic power. It is the lens through which chaos becomes manageable, complexity becomes actionable, and uncertainty becomes opportunity. Step 5. Resilience in adversity. Resilience in adversity is the defining trait of those who endure, overcome, and ultimately thrive when others crumble. Life does not wait for you to be ready. Challenges will come, and they often arrive unannounced, relentless, and unyielding. The difference between success and failure is not the absence of hardship, it's the ability to confront it head-on, to endure pain, to keep moving forward when every instinct is telling you to quit. Resilience is the muscle you build by refusing to surrender to circumstance, by refusing to let setbacks dictate your future, and by confronting every obstacle with unwavering determination. Adversity exposes weaknesses, but it also reveals strength. The resilient individual does not shy away from difficulty. They embrace it as a teacher. Failure is dissected, analyzed, and converted into lessons. Pain is acknowledged, but it does not control action. The resilient mindset rejects victimhood, refuses excuses, and rejects the notion that the world owes you anything. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, to sharpen skills, and to test limits. Resilience is not about avoiding suffering, it's about enduring it and using it as fuel to advance, to push harder, to rise faster, and to maintain focus when everything around you is chaotic. In leadership, resilience is contagious. Teams mirror the attitude of their leader. When a leader demonstrates calm under pressure, persistence in the face of setbacks, and the refusal to quit, the team absorbs that energy. They learn to adapt, to keep moving, and to operate under stress without losing cohesion or morale. Resilient leaders set the tone. They communicate that challenges are expected, but failure to act decisively and endure is unacceptable. The team learns that resilience is not optional. It is a requirement. Every mission, every goal, every high-stakes situation demands this toughness. Without resilience, potential is wasted, opportunities are missed, and progress stalls. Resilience extends beyond the battlefield or office. It is personal, mental, and emotional. Life will test relationships, health, finances, and mental fortitude. The resilient individual maintains focus on the mission despite personal loss, fatigue, or discouragement. They do not allow adversity to dictate mindset or performance. Every setback is an opportunity to prove character, to strengthen resolve, and to emerge stronger than before. Developing resilience requires daily commitment, deliberate practice, and the willingness to endure discomfort, to push through fear, and to maintain action when most would falter. Step 6. empowering others. Empowering others is the hallmark of true leadership. Leadership is not about personal glory, recognition, or control. It is about lifting those around you, amplifying their strengths, and creating an environment where people can perform at their highest level. A leader who fails to empower others becomes a bottleneck. Progress slows, morale drops, and potential is wasted. Empowerment is about trust, accountability, and guidance. It is about giving people the tools, confidence, and clarity to make decisions and act decisively without constant oversight. The strongest leaders understand that their impact is multiplied when they elevate others rather than hoarding control. To empower others, you must first understand them. Recognize their strengths, their weaknesses, their motivations, and their limits. Provide clear direction and expectations, but allow space for initiative and creativity. Micromanagement kills initiative, it suffocates growth. Empowerment requires trust that your team can rise to the challenge, make decisions, and own the results of their actions. You build that trust by training, mentoring, and holding people accountable. You create an environment where failure is not feared, but understood as a step toward mastery. The empowered individual feels responsibility, confidence, and ownership, and that energy spreads throughout the team. Empowering others also means leading by example. Your actions define the standard. When you demonstrate discipline, resilience, clarity, and accountability, you show your team what is possible. They see how ownership looks in practice, how decisive action under pressure can change outcomes, and how discipline opens doors that laziness closes. Your performance sets a benchmark, but your guidance ensures your team can meet it and even exceed it. Empowerment is not about doing the work for others. It's about creating leaders at every level, building a team that can operate independently, efficiently, and decisively when the pressure is on. Finally, empowerment is transformative beyond immediate results. It builds confidence, develops skills, and fosters loyalty. People who feel trusted and capable perform with intensity, initiative, and focus. They think ahead, anticipate problems, and take action without being told. The culture of empowerment creates momentum that is self-sustaining. It is a cycle of growth where leaders elevate others, and those others elevate others in turn. The strength of a team, a company, or a movement is measured not by the leader alone, but by the collective capability of those empowered to act decisively, responsibly, and effectively. So here's the truth. The superpower isn't hidden. It's not in luck, it's not in talent, and it's not in waiting for the perfect moment. The superpower is in you. It's the choice to take extreme ownership, to embrace discipline, to act decisively under pressure, to simplify the complex, to endure adversity, and to lift others as you climb. It's the relentless commitment to be better, to lead better, and to never settle for mediocrity. You've heard the principles. Now it's time to live them. Take control, take action, and unleash the power within you. Your life, your leadership, and everyone depending on you will never be the same.